there's no way. I'm already still burning. So hold me close, now baby. I do what I'm told, still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm, no longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride, look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1,000,000 life, yeah. We could roll the dice, act like you're surprised, but you already know. Oh yeah, got lucky overnight. Jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm all in. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall, I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm, no longer wishing, you're my lucky strike, yeah. Love the way you ride, look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1,000,000 life, yeah. We could roll the dice, yeah. Act like you surprised, but you already know. You're my lucky strike, and I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike.
Folks, I think we got pretty close that time. We're always rolling the dice here at the RecPoker Podcast because we do these babies live on YouTube every Monday night at 7:30 Eastern. So thanks for joining us here. If you're in the YouTube chat, thanks for joining us live. You're going to get a chance to win some prizes later tonight. I see we've got some friendly faces and names already typing away in there. That's fantastic. If you're not joining us live on YouTube, then I hope you're enjoying your commute, or you're taking a nice nature walk, or you're painting the house, or you're walking your dog, or something fun while you listen to the Rec Poker Podcast. We have so much fun over here. I love doing this podcast. My name's Jim Reed. I'm Blusterini in the home game and at Rec Poker Jim on Twitter. I have to shout out our sponsors because most of what we do here at Rec Poker is free. We're a largely volunteer-based organization. And so the support of the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino makes a huge difference to what we do here. We wouldn't be here without them. And we wouldn't be here without our premium members as well. Every once in a while, I missed the show last week, so we've got a couple of weeks of new premium members to welcome. So Kathleen Toomey, Brian Eck, Chris Del Muro, and Michelle Maybaum. Can't wait to get to know these new Rec Poker Premium members better. I had a chance to hang out with Chris in our study group on Saturday. He's got a bright poker future ahead of him, and I can't wait to get to know him a little better. Brian Eck was one of the winners of Angela Jordison and Jackie Burkhart's veterans packages that we were a part of. So I'm excited to get to know Brian better. Kathleen Toomey, I believe, is a Plawn member, a Poker League of Nations member, who got a seat through her involvement with Denise Aces, as some of our friends might know her as. So Kathleen, welcome. And Michelle Maybaum just joined the other day, and I haven't had a chance to even reach out to say hello to her yet. But every time we get a new premium member, it puts a smile on my face. I send out that email. We get a little one-to-one Zoom session. I get to walk them through the website and tell them about all the great features that they're going to be enjoying as a premium member. So I can't wait to talk to these new premium members sometime soon. So the sponsors, boy, we couldn't do it without them. The premium members, I mean, that's why we get out of bed every morning. But the real magic makers over here are the other members of the Wrecking Crew. Get used to hearing my voice on Monday nights because I host the show, but it is a village, it's a gang, it's a crew of people that make everything happen over here. We are the Wrecking Crew. If you want to find out more about me or the other members of the Wrecking Crew, you can go to rec.poker/crew, or you can just listen up because you're going to meet a few of them right here tonight on the air.
My name is Joe Coolis. You can find me at Joe Cool PhD, cool with a K, or Elvita11 in the home game.
And I am John Somsky. I am Poker Geek MN everywhere.
I'm Kim Kilroy. I am Fergie56 in the home game. I am PetVet_33 on Twitter.
And I'm Rob Washam, and I'm Rabman50 just about everywhere.
And I want to shout out a couple folks in the chat. I'm getting some positive encouragement from Martha Reed. Yeah, that is my mom, Martha, in the YouTube chat. She barely ever misses a show. She's here almost every week. I love having my mom in the YouTube chat as we do this show every week. So thanks for the positive encouragement, Mom. We're all doing our best over here. And we've got a couple first-timers here. Looks like Anne-Marie Finley. I'm excited. That name sounds familiar. I feel like I know Anne-Marie Finley, but maybe we'll find out in the chat what her involvement is with Rec Poker and how she got into the YouTube chat tonight. So we're going to give away some prizes tonight like we always do. Unfortunately, David K. Lapin, who's going to be the guest tonight, emailed me and said he's actually playing live right now. He's going deep in something and has to postpone the interview until tomorrow morning. So I apologize to the YouTube chat folks that are here live to watch the show. Do me a favor, if you have any questions for David, just type them in the chat. We're going to do the rest of the show here now. We'll talk about some home game results, some upcoming events. What else are we doing here? We'll do our prize draw. Someone's going to win a free month at an amazing poker training site. Maybe ours, maybe someone else's. The world's big enough for many. And we'll do all of that at the end of the show. But so there is some time. If you've got questions for David K. Lapin, the one and only, type them in the YouTube chat here, and I will make sure to ask them of him in the interview tomorrow morning. So let me see. Before we get into the interview, I just want to shout out Roger Schutte and Renz. These guys help us out with a lot of our post-production stuff. and they make the podcast happen so seamlessly. We really couldn't do what we do without them. And so this is your cue, Roger and Renz. We're going to throw to an interview that hasn't happened yet. And then, like magic, we'll come right back to the show here immediately afterward. Okay, let's see how it works. All right. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. I think that might be one of our best interviews ever. David is such a fascinating character. He's so plugged into the poker industry. And hearing some of those stories, and boy, it's nice when he and Darrow Kearney are very close. They host the chip race together. They work on a lot of projects together. And so to hear David really come out with some of those harsh truths about Darrow's personal life, and some of those, I wasn't expecting that. I really thought those two were joined at the hip. But it's nice to know. It's nice to know.
Well, I mean,
I can't even.
Realistically, how could it not be a good interview with David Lapin, especially when the story about the tightrope and the balancing act was there, and the juggler and
Yes.
the knives
Yes.
and the flames. That was just amazing.
I thought that would have been impressive even if the chainsaws were not on fire. But the fact
Right.
that the chainsaws themselves were on fire, that just really took it to a whole new level.
Right.
Joe, you got something there?
No, I'm just interested that. Well, no, I'm going to let that one go. So.
But in all seriousness, I hope that was a great interview. We haven't had a chance to talk to David yet, but we're going to. Usually, Rob has all sorts of great insights that he's looking forward to. Like Rob, I always feel like Rob does enough research on these episodes that he knows enough about the guest that he's like, oh yeah, I really liked how he talked about writing that book or whatever. What do you got for us this week?
Not much, but right now, in our Twitter poll for our next book, optimizing or GTO simplified is the forerunner right now. So, looks like might be doing another Dara O'Kearney book. In spite of everything David talked about. I mean, I think maybe Barry, Carter being part of it will help soften the blow of using another Dara book, so there you go.
Yeah.
There you
go. And as Joe has pointed out before, I really prefer the title they landed on, GTO Poker Simplified, over some of the working titles out there like GTO Overcomplicated. I just think this was a much better decision. You can see the copies flying off the shelves as a consequence. All right. So that was a fun interview with David, or for all we know. Why don't we, folks, if you want to start typing the word food bank into the chat here, this is the part of the show where we're going to do a raffle. We're going to give away some prizes. And the way that we do it, just to raise awareness about food insecurity, is we just ask players to type the words food bank into the chat, not because doing so actually puts any food in anyone's belly, but because maybe us talking about it will encourage someone to go and make a donation, whether it's time, money, or a non-perishable food item. You'd be surprised how many people, maybe in your own neighborhood or in your own community, need a little help every once in a while putting food on the table for themselves or their family. And so it's just a nice way to help your neighbor, is to help your local food. So if folks start typing the words food bank into the chat now, as I see they're doing, we'll do a draw right after John Somsky tells us about some home game results. And then we'll see who's going to be the prize winner. Now, John, there's a non-zero chance that your mic is not being carried. No one's telling me this, but I'm just saying, please do continue talking about the home games. And if we interrupt you, it might actually not be out of malice. You never know. But we'll assume that everyone can hear you. And folks, if you can't hear John Somsky, please let us know in the YouTube chat.
I think they would have let us know already, when I was making those horrible jokes. Or maybe because they couldn't hear, that's why they didn't complain. You never know.
I thought there was a bit of like a deadpan response, and maybe that could have had something to do with it. You never know.
Well, on May 15th, J.S. Edam, Jeff S. got his first nightly victory for the year. Nice. Mzadi 2, Samil Zahari got his first nightly victory for the year.
We got a new one. In here. All right. I'm so glad we're still tripping John up after like 500 of these a year. We still every once in a while find one.
I even, as I was creating the slides, practiced that one because I knew it was going to be hard, and I still can't do it.
That's awesome.
Then we have Graphic 16, Roger Schutte, got his second
The one and
nightly victory
only.
for the year. Les Paul 99, Michael Pinciero got his first nightly victory for the year.
Way to go,
Ron
Michael.
Thunderby, Ron Payton got his first nightly victory for the year. And Keck Geek, that is Keck Geek Sr., got his fifth nightly victory for the year. That's his 32nd lifetime victory. I think he is trying to take the lead over his son. That's my current suspicion.
That's tough sledding right there. Those two are some excellent poker players. Doesn't surprise me that they're climbing the ranks.
Yep, no surprise at all. Then we have Luke O'Driscoll. He got his first daily mixed victory of the year. And that's not surprising if you remember, I believe he won the last two mixed championship events.
Wow. Oh, yeah, right. Guy's on a roll. That's amazing. Yep. Congratulations.
East Coast spitter Ben Emslow, also known as B-Jammin', got his third international victory for the year. And Ivor Big One got his first international victory for the year. And then XX Angry Fish XX got his or her first daily LPP victory for the year and first RecPoker victory ever. So he or she can contact Jim at rec.poker for their free month at Learn Pro Poker.
I think we're going to have a new rule that in terms of names that people are using have to take into account John's ability to pronounce them so we don't get an explicit rating at some point for the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. We'll work around that in our planning meeting, see what we can come up with.
Well, either that or, Roger Schutte edits it, right? He'll have to figure out how to do a beep on it.
I love it. So a couple things coming out of that. So that's amazing. So Ben is a regular in the international series. So Ben Enslow, who's a Wrecking Crew member, plays every Saturday on Twitch, and you can join him and watch along as he plays in the morning and the afternoon game with all his friends there on Twitch.
Yeah,
I believe
that's his
it's
15th international victory.
Yeah. He loves those international tournaments on Saturday mornings and Saturday afternoons. And it's a smaller field those days. So, folks, if you're not everyone's available to come play every night at 9 o'clock Eastern. That's why we call them the international series, because they're earlier in the day. So people in other time zones or people that are busy in the evening can get a chance to come and play. But so that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that Ben is continuing to rock those. Because
I also just want to clarify, everyone, regardless of where you live, are welcome to play in any event, no matter what the series name might happen to be. So international is not restricted to international players, and all of our events welcome international players, even if they are Canadian.
I think Ben's time zone is like 6 hours ahead of ours, right? I mean, he's just way east.
He is quite east. He's even east of me. That's right.
It's very difficult for him to play that late at night, because I'm sure he has to get up sometime in the morning. You can't be just playing until 2 a.m. every morning.
That's right. Yeah, we should tell folks like him and Josh Campbell, Torinar, who's another premium member. He has to get up. I won't dox the guy that bad. He has to get up pretty early for his day job as well. So maybe he'd have a little more fun on Saturday instead of having to stay up till 2 a.m. on the East Coast with some of those tournaments. But yeah, congratulations to Ben. That's great. And I also want to say, who was the winner, John, who's going to email me at LPP about their LPP win?
XX Angry Fish XX.
All right, XX Angry Fish XX. You're actually the first person that I'm going to tell this to. If you're a regular listener, you know that I am always behind on my emails. I struggle with my emails. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on around here, keeping the website going and keeping the community vibrant and encouraging. And I won't go into it, but one thing we're doing is I'm getting a little help sorting through some of my emails. So instead of emailing Jim at rec.poker xx angryfishxx, send an email to info@rec.poker. And if John, if you can note the slides for future comments, and if folks, you can always email me, Jim at RecPoker, if there's something that I can help you with. But if there's something a little more general, please start using that info@rec.poker email address. And I'm really excited. We've got a couple more people joining the team that are going to help us make RecPoker even greater than it already is. If you can imagine such a thing. I know I'm struggling. I'm struggling to. It doesn't seem possible. That's what we do. So let me see. I'm going to start pulling out some. Oh, I see we got the Penny and Luck Poker Club in the chat tonight. That's fantastic. That's longtime Rec Poker buddy Woody Adams down there. I was going to say in Pennsylvania, but he's actually down in Nevada now, from what I understand, and got some good news recently. So Woody, thanks for tuning in, man. And I hope that we get a chance to call your name when we do our little roll here, our little raffle here, to see who's going to win the prize. So let's see whose names are we going to call here. Looks like the first one. And John, why don't you back me up here to make sure there's no confusion about the order of these names as they come in. The first one I see is Luke, then Mary, then Anne Marie, then Jim, then Dave, then Woody, and I look like 6. That looks like 6 to me. Is that the same you see?
That's what I see.
All right. Well, then we're just going to roll a boring old 6-sided die here. It's just nothing nerdy about it. It's just a normal 6-sided die. No ISO cam. We're still working on the technology for this. It's anything but a 1. Actually, I shouldn't say anything but a 1 because who was the first person? Luke. I don't want to, Luke, I'm not trying to freeze you out. I roll a lot of 1s. So it'd be nice if this was something other than. Let's see. But now I kind of hope it is a 1 because I feel bad for Luke. Okay. It's a 5. But I think we're going to count that. It kind of went off the desk a bit, but I think we're going to count. Who was our number 5? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Evil Roy Slade. Oh my God. Dave Westerveld just continues to win everything in life.
You should have rolled it over. I think it's a misroll. I think you should have rolled it over.
I think, yeah. And let's do another one because all these
Dave.
folks have showed up. All these folks have showed up. No, Dave, we're going to give you your prize. But all these folks showed up for an interview. We don't even have freaking David K. Lapin here in the house. The least we could do is give away a second prize.
So my presence isn't enough. Is what you're saying?
That's right.
I showed up.
Oh, yeah, the guy hosts for 1 week, and now all of a sudden. Oh, but no, I do want to thank you, Joe, for sitting in the hosting chair last week. It was, I'm sure everyone at RecPoker got a kick out of hearing someone's voice other than mine. But it made a big.
I kept the seat warm, and that was about it. So it's all you're the guy.
All right. Well, let's roll again. We're going to give away 2 prizes tonight. No, I know Dave's saying re-roll, but Dave, you're too generous. We're going to give you your prize anyway, and we're going to roll again and give a second prize away as well. Here we go. Who's it going to be? A 6. All right. Well, I think that's our man Woody, right? Was the last one to get his name in there. So Dave, you know the rules. Woody, welcome back, my friend. Send an email, please, to info@rec.poker. And we're going to get you all hooked up with some awesome prizes. I can't wait to reward the people that come here to YouTube for free on Monday nights and hang out with us for these interviews and these fun conversations that we have. And of course, premium members can also join us. Usually after the podcast, we record the forums edition of the podcast over Zoom, and premium members are welcome to join us for that. But you do have to be a premium member. You got to drop that $5 and get your first month. With the code RecPoker for peanuts. All right, so that's that. Let me see, what else can we talk about? We're going to be, Luke says, Jim, plug the RecPoker merch because I'm about to order. Anything I need to do to get pins sent at the same time? Awesome question, Luke. And Luke, congratulations you've been on a roll. So the way we do the pins now, I actually mail the pins out from my place, and I've got them here at RecPoker Command Central. All the merch is handled through a third-party provider. So when you order stuff through the RecPoker shop, that actually comes directly to your door in no time flat. from a merchandise supplier who has our designs, and it was just way easier than me ordering it, getting it here, shipping it out to our members. So we don't send the pins out with the merch anymore. So there's no coordination there. But if you do have some pins coming, it's as simple as just going to the RecPoker shop. There's a category there for membership and more. You can see pins and patches and that kind of stuff in there. If you just cover the shipping and handling on the pins, I will make sure to send that off. And I know you've got a couple coming because we've been hearing Luke O'Driscoll quite a bit here on the podcast in the Inner Circle recently. So please do. Nothing would make me happier than to send them off. I'm also going to be in Vegas for the last 2 weeks of June. If anyone's going to be there, I can bring pins down and we can hand them off and save on some shipping. Or if we're doing a RecPoker road trip, I'll always bring the pins there as well. So if we can get together either at Running Aces or Playground or one of the fun places we go this year, I'd be happy to make that happen. Yeah, you'll be in my email backlog. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Luke. No, but of course, we're going to be sending that to info@rec.poker. And so there won't be an email backlog because everything's going to be magically better starting now. I'll just always start getting back to people immediately, I promise, because that's how things work, right? Speaking of Vegas, it's right around the corner. We're going to be doing our meetup game sometime between June 23rd and 28th. If people are going to be in Las Vegas for that part of the WSOP, I'd love to get together with as many members as we have in Vegas at the time, play some poker, maybe. Maybe we'll do like a karaoke night. Maybe we'll just go get a big meal somewhere. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but I know we're going to end up getting a poker game going at some point. We'll be doing. I love these YouTube chatters. We have so much fun here. We'll definitely be doing a meetup game, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, if you're listening live tonight, the deep dive recording seminar is going to be happening right after the show here in about 45 minutes. This is a great opportunity for folks to play in a simulated tournament environment. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on short stack, or not short stacks, but reshove stacks. Once stacks start getting a little shorter and we start getting to the point where someone opens in front of you, and instead of 3-betting to a smaller sizing, you end up just being at the point where it's time to shove. This is an area where I think a lot of recreational players are leaving some money on the table. This is an area where we could pick up some edges by studying a little bit. So if you're a premium member and you're listening live, there's still a few seats left in the deep dive session tonight, and I encourage you to sign up for that in the RecPoker forums. Rob, you were saying we've got the Twitter poll out there, and it looks like Dario Carney and Barry Carter's book, Simplified, or GTO Simplified, is kind of running away with it. Are the polls still open, or are we closing the door real soon?
Yeah, we have one more day. They'll close tomorrow. I'm also adding up any votes that come in through the book study group because some people are not Twitterites. They're not tweeting. No. They're not birds.
God bless them. They're probably wiser than us.
Yes, I don't do Facebook, but I do Twitter, so I don't know what the heck. Social media is just kind of a weird thing that people get into or they don't, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I put the poll on Twitter. It's very difficult to put a poll in the RecPoker website. I don't know if it's the operating system or whatever it is. It's just very difficult to put a poll in there, so I use Twitter. But again, anybody who wants to vote, I put it also in the book study group. So if you want to vote, you can go to the book study group and see that and then respond to that message. And I will add those to whatever votes we have. But right now, GTO Simplified by Dario Carney and Barry Carter is running away with it.
Great. I'm going to start a new poll on Twitter to see if we can change the name of anybody who participates to birds as Twitter birds, because I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I like that too. Joe, while I've got you here, I know you just had your second session of your Poker PsyOps group, and so you've got another one coming up in June, June 15th, if I'm looking at the calendar correctly, because it's always on the third Thursday of the month. how's it been going so far, and what are you interested in getting into for the next session?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been going well. You have to ask the people that have been attending. I really want to encourage people to attend and bring questions. We present on, or I present on a specific topic each week, well, each month. But like last month, it was on cognitive biases, kind of an introduction to them and a listing of them. But I think it works best actually when people ask questions, because it gives a lot of good conversations, not only about the concept that we're talking about or the concept that they bring to it, but also people adding their own frustrations with or experience with the difficulty that somebody is experiencing or the phenomena that they've observed at the table. So I really encourage people, come listen to the presentation, but there's always time to talk about the things that you think about on a daily basis at the table regarding cognition or tilt or mindfulness or even other psychiatric difficulties that you may experience that may impact your play. And these are things that we can talk about during that time. And I think it's been pretty helpful for people. At least that's the feedback I've gotten.
Yeah, great. In fact, one of our new premium members, Carmine, when you become a premium member, I send out this email with a whole bunch of info about how to get the most out of your membership, and it includes a link to a one-on-one Zoom chat with me. So I was just chatting with Carmine earlier today, and he said specifically he wanted to tell Joe that he really enjoyed the first video in your series, and he's getting more into it. But that was one of the things that got him really interested in getting more involved in stuff here at RecPoker. So I think people like it, Joe. You're doing great work over there, man.
I have one fan, Carmine. That's the only one so far. So as long as I can start building from there, I'll be all right. But thank you, Carmine.
It all starts with one. Kim, you've got some exciting travel plans coming up. I know normally we'd be doing your hand history review this week, but you're going to be down in Vegas, and I think you're going to be down in Vegas next month for June's hand history review as well. On what am I looking at here? The 27th. So it's going to be this is the life when you're a modern poker celebrity traveling all over the world, playing tournaments, having fun with Stewie and Elizabeth. It's hard to make room for all this stuff in a full rich life.
I can try and reschedule for the little in between time I'm home, but so I'll look at the calendar. I have some great hands from my past weekend. I went and played some tournaments at Turning Stone. So I wrote some hands down. So I really want to look at those. So if anybody else has any hands, they can put them in the group forum. And we'll look at them. And hopefully I'll have some more hands after playing live at the WSOP.
Kim is also going to change the name of her presentation to "I'll Pencil You In," as given the difficulties for the schedule.
No, it's amazing, Kim. You're going down to play in the Solve for Why Academy. Is that right?
To take the Solve for Why Academy, yeah, attend it, yeah.
That's
it's
amazing,
it's a 4-day tournament prep course for the WSOP. So
Solve for Why has been one of our learning partners for a long time. We love what they're doing over there. Some really sharp minds, and they really focus on. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, but they really focus on kind of like the exploitative aspect of poker, and it's all grounded in GTO, but it's really more about kind of taking advantage of the leaks that you see at the table. Is that fair to say?
Yes and no. I mean, their tournament academy is really focused on the different stages of a tournament and how you play according to the different stage of the tournament. So, cool. Yeah.
Nice. John, I think we've got the quarterly heads up tournament coming up on Saturday, June 17th. This is one of the ways that folks can win their way into Marek Madness. Is that right?
Yes, this is one of 3 that we will be holding this year. So this is your first chance to play in the Heads Up tournament. So if you want to play in Marek Madness and see if you can become a champion, this is your chance to enter.
It is pretty cool, this Marek Madness that Taylor Moss really runs every year in March, or Marek as we call it. It's a ladder tournament style, all heads up, winner take all, single elimination. And the way that you can enter is by is by winning one of these 3 quarterly heads-up battles that we have. They're on the 3rd Saturday of June, September, and December. So circle that June 17th and see if you can get through a ladder of heads-up rec poker players and win your way into American Madness. I hope that's going to be a lot of fun. Well, folks, I think I should tell folks, head on over to the Running Aces website at runaces.com. You can check out the tournament schedule and see all the fun stuff they've got coming up. We're going to be doing a Rec Poker road trip out to the Running Aces in August or September this summer. The dates are still getting finalized, but it's going to be a great chance to get together and have some fun. So if you're not in Las Vegas for the last couple of weeks of June, maybe you can come join the fun at Running Aces sometime a little later in the summer. I think we're also going to try and do a road trip to Playground at one point over the next little while. And there's a couple other places that have reached out that I think could be fun to go visit if we can get a group together and make it happen. So I'm looking forward to that. Folks, this is the most fun I have every week. Thanks for joining us here on the RecPoker Podcast. I want to thank in particular Rob, Kim, Joe, and John for being on the Wrecking Crew and for all they do to make RecPoker great. All these fantastic folks in the YouTube chat, thank you so much for sharing your time with us tonight. I'm sorry that you missed out on the interview with David Lapin. Notice I'm not thanking David. I'm not thanking him yet. I don't know, like maybe this interview isn't going to be all that great. Will he even show up? Who knows? But I hope that goes really well. I got to thank the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino, but mostly you, the listeners, because you're what we do it for here. So thanks for your support, and we'll see all the rest of you next time.